Hey everyone, and welcome to Steele Wars. I am Steele Saunders, and I do love Star Wars. And on today's episode, we are joined by our good buddy from the Blue Harvest podcast. It's Hawes Burkhardt. How you doing?
I'm all right, buddy. I'm excited about this one.
Well, we are here. I recently got to take a weekend sojourn, Hawes,
Oof, big word.
south of the border, and got to go to Rosarita in Mexico. And listen, nutbags like you and I, we go on a trip, experience some culture, but what do we really hope to find, Hawes?
Star Wars stuff.
And I've had remarkable luck. Like I definitely feel like it's magnetized to me. I was once walking down, like in the crepe district in France,
I've heard this episode.
in Paris, and there was a Star Wars creperie down this little lane that we just happened to walk down, just like decked out. Like when you were inside, it was like you were having like in the Death Star canteen, and these things seem to chase me down.
hmm
But when I was going to Mexico, I had seen, if you've watched our video where Corey and Aubrey and I go to Frankenson's collectible fair or whatever.
Oh, what a place.
What a place. And yeah, that tour was up on YouTube. But one of the vendors had this amazing, like 2 foot tall, like porcelain
Ceramic.
thank you,
Yeah.
ceramic, obviously not licensed Grogu. And I just scuttled over there and said, oh, how much is that? And he's like, oh no, it's not for sale, my friend got it for me in Tijuana, and yeah, we just have it here. And Corey was petrified of it.
Of course he was.
I have sent him a few photos from my adventures and my finds in Mexico, and he's a little bit concerned with a few of them. So what I thought we'd do is we'd talk about some of the odd collectible, not good uses of the license.
No, sir.
Just not even uses of the license.
No license whatsoever. And I'm a big fan of unlicensed or bootleg merchandise. Like, it's one of the things I think is so cool. Like, Star Wars has sort of a history of that going back to like the vintage figures with like the Uze bootleg figures, and how sought after those are nowadays and stuff. So that I've always found that stuff pretty fascinating.
And even with like Kubrick's and stuff, like official licensed stuff has referenced the Uzes.
Specifically, what do they call the blue snowtrooper? Is it a yellow star or something like that, or yellow stripe? I can't remember, but he's like a
It's not Blue Star?
no. It's weird. I'm pretty sure it's yellow star, because maybe you're right. I can't remember. I'm not totally up to date on my bootleg terminology.
I love that it's such a bootleg that it's a blue stormtrooper, but it would be called Yellow Star.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get that on brand. But my last trip to Mexico, which was 2016. Yes.
For your honeymoon, right?
Yeah. And that was the first time I've ever been there. But yeah, my one like really sweet thing was the Hershey's chocolate milk long life
Ooh.
with Mendo and all the Rogue One art. My Mendo milk, which Ben Mendelsohn himself picked up and admired when he visited the house.
That sure is something. Now that is licensed though, right? Just not something we would have gotten over here.
Yeah, they seem to have a different set of licensed items.
Yeah. Well, like SH Figure Arts, right? the Japanese 6-inch scale Star Wars collectible are not sold in the United States at regular retail because it conflicts with the Hasbro license. But in Japan, the licensing is different, right?
Yeah, but even like in Mexican like food and beverage or
Right.
whatever, there's like they had minions chocolate milk,
Hmm.
and they don't have that in America because I'm like I'm kept on my toes on the cusp of chocolate milk co-branding and stuff due to
Nice.
due to Harry. He likes a good licensed chocolate milk. If
Does he
it's
like the minions?
yeah, he sort of does. Is are minions like not cool? What's going on with them?
I don't know. I just sometimes I hear people refer to like bad humor as minion humor. I'm not quite up on it myself. It does seem like minions maybe don't have aren't regarded the best.
Yeah, I'm confused because I haven't seen any of those films. I have been on the ride at Universal Studios though, which was one of the first times I've ever like I haven't seen the movie, but
But you
I've
went on the
gone.
ride, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen that often, you know. But I know like one of my friends, like Tommy Dasilo, he's a stand-up comedian from Melbourne, and he would like them, but I think he was like I couldn't tell the irony level of like
Right.
if he hated them or he loved them because everyone hated them, or he just
Hmm.
hated them, or he just loved, hated, loved, hated.
Right.
Like I couldn't, but I know it was a they draw a passionate response from what I've picked up on.
I pick up on that as well.
Hmm.
I know I went to a movie last weekend and there was a very long Minions trailer before the movie and like it was pretty bad.
The trailer was.
Yeah, the trailer was pretty bad and was long.
Um, did you say you had some bootleg stuff?
Yeah, I do. So I have a ceramic Boba Fett that my mom got me on a trip to Mexico that I can't find. It must be at my parents' house because I can't imagine having misplaced it in this house. But I have from Mexico this amazing bootleg Spider-Man that my mom got me on a different trip. And as you can tell, he is quite bootleg. And I don't even know what he's made out of. Maybe clay. I don't know, man. But he is immaculate.
I've got some interesting possibilities of what it could be made out of.
What's that?
All right, I'll cop this one right. This is on my. I think this is my first day. I went into a little town to check out the like, and it's just like there's sort of like a supermarket, like a you know whatever a supermarket, a Ralph's or whatever.
Right.
But then there's this like sort of more traditional town with all these little stalls around it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going to the supermarket to get some stuff, and then I'm like, oh, there's stalls. I
Got to
gotta
check
have,
out the stalls.
yeah, like I've got to just, I should just to save time tomorrow and stuff. And I came across this bad boy.
Oh, glorious.
So this is about an 8-inch kind of porcelain, or what was that other material you said?
Ceramic.
Ceramic. And it's like hand painted Grogu with the frog. And this was made up of, Hawes, the ceramic, if you call it that. It consisted of crushed cow bone.
Wow. So that's what the Spider Man could be made out of, huh?
Could be cow bone, baby.
Could be cow bone.
Spider cow bone.
Um, and then I want to say it was in 2017, a good friend of mine, Jeff, went to Malaysia. He and his family go to Malaysia pretty regularly because that's where they're from. And he was like, hey, do you want me to be on the lookout for anything while I'm there? And I was like, hey, man, Star Wars bootlegs. If you see Star Wars bootlegs, hook it up. And he came through in a big way. So I know for a fact you've seen both of these before. but this is a quote unquote Lego set. It is S Wars, maintain world peace, fight for justice. And it is a silver stormtrooper. It is not Captain Phasma. It is just a silver stormtrooper. It doesn't even say Lego. It says DeCool on it.
I like that it says S Wars. It's a little
Yes.
Lego box, but it looks like it's been censored
Yes.
from
And then
because it's a less good Wars.
also bootleg Lego. This is a wolf pack. So shout out Corey, a wolf pack clone trooper. This is also a Lego bootleg, but this one is Star Wart. Like you would
Love a bit of Star Wars.
Star Wart.
But you know what my favorite one of those is?
Hmm.
Star Winners.
Oh, Star Winners is good.
Because it's so positive.
Yeah. And then the one I consider to be like the chef's kiss, best one of the lot, is a bootleg Black Series that just says Star Wars Episode 7, no Force Awakens. And down at the bottom where it should say R2D2, his name is The New Roll. The New Roll. And he's got a Try Me Light, which I've tried. Never has lit. It's never lit up. It's never once worked. He's got a couple of random accessories in there that I'm not quite sure what they are. Poor R2's head isn't even screwed on right. It's all backwards. It is immaculate.
Yeah. That's the thing about the bootlegs is like on a shelf, that's where they've got to stay.
Yes.
Like if you want to use the item for what it's like proposed to be, say a toy.
Right.
Nah,
it's not going to crumble as soon as it comes out of that package.
Bleh.
Yeah.
That's you're definitely not on the hunt for quality.
No. That's kind of the appeal though, right?
Yeah, I think. But what else? So this was in this same village. So I was doing sort of like recon at this point.
Right. You can't just buy the first Star Wars bootleg you see, right? Like,
well, I really wanted to survey the market. I didn't because I don't
Right.
like to double up on things.
Right.
And spoiler alert, I accidentally did. So I even the best laid plans. But yeah, so what's on the image here is there is stacks of just licensed characters that they do in this sort of 6-inch porcelain,
like almost chibi deformed style. Like
they look like I'm just starting to think about this now because I realized something about one of the things I've got later on to show you. But they look like they're all molded off soap dispensers.
Oh, or like novelty shampoo bottles.
Yes. So
Yeah.
so you've got your little Woody here, and you know he's about 6 or 7 inches, and he's all bubbly and stuff. Like he's a puffy like rendition, and you could easily see the little plug coming out of his head to squirt the stuff out. So yeah, they use molds from other things to make
Yeah, and like on this shelf alone, I see some Dragon Ball Z stuff. I see an Elsa from Frozen back there, Buzz Lightyear and Woody, a Sonic the Hedgehog that I would have had a real hard time not bringing home for myself.
Dude, you'll see. I think there's a Sonic later on that.
Oh,
yeah.
Deadpool, some Pokemon, Chewbacca. Looks like there's a Stormtrooper behind the Yoda or Baby Yoda. I'm not sure which version of Yoda that's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think that's an original Yoda.
I think so too.
And then down the bottom, can you see these are the cowbone things? There's a very ghostly Grogu unpainted.
Yeah, sitting amidst like a lot of different skeletons posed in different ways and stuff.
Yeah, that is not my Grogu.
No, that's a spooky Grogu right there, buddy.
I tell you who would look good in that? Jar Jar Binks. Just the ironic melding of the really sort of spooky material presentation and Jar
Man,
Jar.
if they had a Jar Jar, you would have had to have come home with that, right? Like that would have been an instant purchase.
Ah,
Something tells me there's not much market for bootleg Jar Jar down in Mexico. At least not right now. If you'd been down there, if you had gone to the Smithsonian exhibit and then hopped down to Mexico for a couple of days, you might have found one then.
and there's wait, there is another shelf with
Oh, did
Mario, little Darth Vader, and like you see the Darth Vader, it's painted like it does kind of look like I did it, which is like one of like the biggest insults you can give
yeah.
a
I
painter.
see once again some Dragon Ball Z stuff. Dragon Ball stuff seems like it is pretty. Oh, you can barely see it over on the left hand side, but that Joker is goofy. Joker
Oh,
from Batman.
and then Hawes, I don't even know how that I so I didn't get any of the porcelain things.
Right.
Because I was still like in recon mode.
Well, and you knew I like you were going because I saw you on Twitter before you went on your trip being like, does anybody know somewhere in Tijuana where I can get this? Talking about the Grogu that you saw at Frankenson's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I found I was told that just when you're leaving Mexico,
Uh-huh.
you'll you'll just tell someone what you want and they'll have it, sort of thing. Like, and it just sounded.
A little shady.
I was going to say too good to be true, but
Well,
shady would also fit in with it. But we'll save it for the end. But little did I know.
oh really?
Little did I know.
Yeah, because I don't know how this story I saw a couple of things you got, but I don't know how this story ends.
Now, so on the first day, I've gone to the supermarket, seen the little village, gone, oh, I've got to check out this village. Checked out a few porcelain things. And I'm like, I'm keeping my cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I go past this place that's got these, that some reason they're like quite a popular thing, but these wooden poster frames with like Scarface photoshops in them and Jordan
Nice.
posters, but they're all made of this same wood with this same sort of weave going through in the frame. They're all glued on.
Right.
And I come upon
A masterpiece. Oh my goodness.
this is I feel like maybe I'll make this the cover picture for people listening to the podcast.
Yeah, I think you should.
I have seen this image before. So like I've seen it on maybe someone posted like an image like this. I don't know, like I don't have a record of where it was, but I had
Mhm.
seen the image before. And it's a movie poster sized wooden frame with the most immaculately perfectly bad in all these bizarre little ways
I mean,
that makes it super good.
yeah, it's
It
amazing.
it is a powerful piece of merchandise.
It is.
Because one of my favorite things about current Star Wars merchandise is what they do is when they blend the whole saga into one
Hmm.
unified image to let us know that it's one big story and oh yeah, that's it's like I love that mural at Star Wars Celebration with
Oh, so amazing.
yeah, loved it. Thought it was great. What they've done here, it is a combination of publicity photos,
Hmm.
like magazine shoots, like cardboard standee art,
Uh, CG character renders for video games
and Hasbro action figures.
and Hasbro action figures. Literally, what happened was they searched different character names, transparent background, and then just put all this together.
What Is that what they did? Like, I wonder, and if you're not watching, if you're just listening, it's a whole saga encompassing image with clone troopers, Rey, Padme, Obi-Wan, Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett, Darth Sidious, BB-8, young Anakin Padawan, Jedi Luke. Everyone's in there. Han, Leia, Vader, Captain Phasma. And
two versions of Anakin, young Anakin and Attack of the Clones Anakin.
Jar Jar's in there, but it's not actually Jar Jar.
Oh, zoom in. I can't really see him. I mean, I see where he is.
It's Captain Tarfles, or
It is one of the other Gungans. And right next to him is C-3PO, and C-3PO has a major lean going on.
he's falling over. And then you've got the CGI Jedi Luke, Hoth Leia, and Hoth Han Solo.
And if you go over, so I think I'm almost certain that Han, Leia, Luke, Vader as well, I'm pretty sure. Those four at least are all character models from Battlefront 2.
The Vader one is?
I'm pretty sure if you look up the publicity stills and stuff, I know at least Luke, Leia, and Han are from Battlefront 2.
Yeah, my only thing with the Vader one is, like, that's a very good, like, if that's a computer image, like,
Yeah.
nailed it. Kylo Ren inexplicably has got a red glow around him.
I'm telling you, that's because when they looked for Kylo Ren PNG, that's the best one that came up. I'm pretty sure that might be a cardboard standee image for Kylo.
Yeah. But this is the thing. It's like it's so perfect to my sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like did someone do it on purpose? Like
No. Well, I mean, they did it on purpose, but not in the way you're thinking, I don't believe.
Because look, there's BB-8 and he's not even facing the right way.
No, his head is turned around like the R2 I have.
And then if we page up here, like Jabba the Hutt is like a Hasbro toy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Darth Maul
is absolutely some sort of toy.
Yeah, I think Darth Maul, I don't know if it's a Hasbro or it's a money box.
Yeah, I don't know, because you can kind of, you might be right, because some of those money boxes have slight posability to them, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, because it was the money box that shook, and he fought Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan if you had them together. What an age!
I have that.
And then you got some CGI clone troopers. I know they're CGI because all clone troopers are. That would be ironic if they just had some 501st real ones in. And then you've got what planet is that?
Shoo, buddy, I don't know.
Up the top, there's some red planet, and there's this big battle with Star Destroyers and TIE Fighters and X-Wings and Millennium Falcons flying up to this battle.
Buddy, go back up. Go back up to Rey. They put lipstick on her. They put lipstick on Rey. That's one of her promo shots from The Force Awakens, and they've gone in and put red lipstick on her. They put lipstick on her. When he were adding this to her to the image, they said, "You know what? We need to give her a little bit of a makeover."
Listen, my new fantasy guest on the podcast
is who made this poster.
Yeah, I just want to run through it. The search words, did they was it pre-lipsticked? Did you think you need to just gussy up the poster a little bit?
The only way I could see a more appealing bootleg poster purchase, is if you came across one of those fan-made Episode 7 posters.
Oh, that's next. I was thinking that I was like, I'd love
that had Andy Serkis as a Mandalorian and stuff on it. Oh man,
it was very tight. Look at Qui-Gon. He looks like
wrong.
sus.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something up with that.
Poe just seems shocked he's on the poster.
Yep.
And then you've got an episode 3 Yoda ready to fight, ready to appear on a Pepsi Max can.
Yep. And little Anakin looking stiff as a board, like a costume test picture or something. Well,
Yeah.
actually, it's not. It's even little Anakin from the last scene of.
Because he's got the Padawan.
Yeah, he's wearing his little Jedi robes and he's got his Padawan braid. Let me ask you, what is something like this run south of the border?
I think it started at 40 and went to 20.
Ah, perfect. A little haggling.
Yeah.
That's a deal at twice that price.
And quite often my thing with it is if I like that, if that's a satisfying price, that's like I sort of before I ask how much something is, I assign my
But what you're willing to go play.
yeah. And it was sort of like $20 is a fair.
Yeah.
And also I didn't actually want the frame, but I couldn't
You just
get
wanted the poster.
Yeah, which I didn't want to insult anyone's craftsmanship, but trust me, the person that made that frame was not in that stand because that stand with the wood things, they were like exactly the same everywhere. So I feel like that was a 20.
I think that's a good deal, buddy.
And you'll love this little stinger, Hawes. There were a lot of poster shops that I saw at different places around in Mexico. Never again, Hawes, did I come across the blessed Star Wars saga.
That's the only one you ever saw.
Yeah.
It was meant to be.
Oh, but, buddy, if you want some Scarface photoshopped next to someone from The Godfather,
I'm down.
I got your back. And the only other Star Wars one was I saw there was a Force Awakens, like, the theatrical poster.
Right, that they had just printed off and glued to the frame.
Yeah, so thrilled because there's nothing better feeling than that. Like I bought it at the right time for the right price, and now it's actually where is it in? Here we go.
Oh, it's in a place of honor, exactly where it belongs. It belongs in a museum
Or a little makeshift office. So yeah, first day, and I was sort of like I'd seen the other things, I know they existed, and I was very interested in the 8-inch little, like the bath sud dispenser figures. They were interesting. They were sort of like in the 5 to 10.
Right.
I think if I went for it, I think it would have been a 5 once you got down to
right.
Let's
Cash
talk.
in hand.
And but I wanted to suss things out. So that's like, so I was happy to know they existed. They were within my reach because I have had bad experiences. Like I've told you about my Tokyo Disney experience coming out of Star Tours.
Yep.
Ready to go. Let's go. Japanese merchandise from Disney Star Tours with like Japanese lettering on it. This is going to be the best.
Not happening.
We're just outside.
Just right outside, not even into a gift shop.
We come out of the tunnel and I'm waiting to be in like Star Traders Tokyo. I'm just outside again.
Yeah.
There's no shop. And I was like looking around like there must be an answer. It must be just over there. How could they not want to sell the thing after the ride at the Disney?
What year was this? Was it before Disney owned Star Wars?
Yes.
You have to imagine now. That's probably a different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, I gotta timestamp it. Yeah. Yes, it definitely was. It definitely was. I was just thrilled. First night, Mexico,
Yeah. You found
and
treasure on the first night.
and Hawes, that first night, it was pretty special, as you can see.
Oh, my man's just hanging out, beer in hand, cuddled up to his new Star Wars artwork.
I don't know, with an amazing view.
An amazing view. Like it looks like paradise behind you, but all I can focus on is that poster. That tells you how stunning this poster is.
It's so good.
It's so good, buddy.
Man, it just keeps
I
on
can't
giving.
believe they put lipstick on Ray.
Well, I can't believe I've gotten another thing out of it.
Yeah. Oh, something tells me it's going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Wowzers. Yeah, I wouldn't even. What about this Boba Fett? Is there a chance this Boba Fett is from Robot Chicken?
No, that Boba Fett is also from Battlefront 2.
Oh, no way.
Yep. Yep. That is the character model from Battlefront 2. I'm very familiar with those because I've seen these models and those poses quite a bit.
Okay. Whew. So,
So day one's down. You got the poster, but you're still on the lookout, right?
yeah, well, it's just a warm up.
Right.
Like that was sort of, I wasn't even meant to be there.
Right.
Like as far as like, hey, I'm not going down to the shops to look for Star Wars merch, but it was just there. I
It
had to
found
check it
you.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What am I? But skin and bone.
Right.
Water, I think. 90%.
Mostly.
That's what they say.
Mostly.
Hawes.
Yes, sir.
So the next day, Jackie does some surfing, which was pretty crazy. Big waves.
I bet.
She came back quite waterlogged, but she loves it and it's awesome. And then we headed out to explore, take in some culture, get some food, and check out these markets.
Uh-oh.
That I was like just so excited. It's so up my alley.
I have a feeling this is stuff I haven't seen. I saw several of those pictures you showed me before, but now I think I'm in uncharted territory.
Well, let me ask you this, Horse. What do you know about Mexican jumping beans?
You know, there's a moth larva in them.
Larvae.
Yeah, and when they get warmed up, the larva moves around, and that's what makes the bean jump.
So, if you're like listening to the podcast, it's like a in-store display makeshift of a bunch of like 20 little plastic cases that I don't know, put like a ring in or something, but they've got a bunch of beans in there. And these beans, while they're sitting there, are jumping, they're shaking.
Yep.
Like all the cases are moving around.
Yep.
And I've never, like, when you've heard of something, but you just didn't think about it, sort of thing. Like Mexican jumping. I don't know. Is that in a cartoon or is that a real thing? So we're all looking at them in amazement. Let's go, right? Let's get some beans. So I'm like, I'm going to find out what's going on with this, because I just couldn't work out how they could move.
Right.
So I start Googling, and then I hit larvae, and that was Nave after that.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember why. I looked them up sort of recently. I was watching some video on YouTube, and some people were shopping in Mexico and were talking about it. And I was like, what is that really? And I looked it up, and yeah, I saw the same thing.
So Jackie was like all about getting them. And I've just like, as I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, no, we're not getting them. She goes, why? And I'm like, larvae. And she just was like, ah.
Yep.
She's not like bugs and stuff. That's extra. That's way out of her alley.
Yeah, me too. I totally agree.
Um, so yeah, jumping beans. Have you ever had them,
No,
Hawes?
no, I haven't.
All right. So we hit this other. We went back to that same marketplace because it was a lot bigger than I realized.
Hmm.
And I know I was like, okay, I've got to stop here. Got my poster. We can come back here tomorrow because there's a few hours
Yeah,
in
worth of looking
in
around.
looking
Yeah.
around this place. So already had a good vibe about it because of my visit previous, and people would sort of like when you go into the stalls, the customer service, the salesmanship
Oh
horse.
my goodness.
Like I own a retail store in Melbourne, Australia,
They're hustlers, aren't they, buddy?
theshorestore.com, and I would like these. They're not hustlers. They're salespeople.
They big time.
I would love to have them working in my shop because they explore every avenue to sell you an item.
Buddy. So I've been to Mexico a handful of times, mainly the Playa del Carmen area, just sort of close to Cancun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have gone downtown to do some shopping, and every single stall owner or shop uh, employee has the exact same line for me. When I come rolling by in my wheelchair, they all say, "My friend, free parking, come inside. Free parking." They all use that line on me every time. And you want to talk about something that my dad thought was hilarious? It was the free parking line.
Excellent.
And I wonder how it got started. Like, what happened one day is like a guy in a wheelchair came by, and he said, one of the people were like, you know what, I'm going to try. I'm going to try this free parking line. And it worked. And the dude bought a bunch at the store. So then he went and told all his friends, like, hey, you see somebody in a wheelchair, say free parking. It worked. That man, I made the biggest sale of my year so far.
Oh man, they would. They would go hard. So and then like sometimes I'd say, "Oh, what are you after?" And I'd say, "Oh, Star Wars, Baby Yoda,"
Hmm.
and because like some of them didn't like when you said Baby Yoda, that like triggered something else apart from Star Wars sort of thing.
Right.
Just because Baby Yoda is such a like he's an icon of the game.
Yeah, he's universal at this point.
Now I didn't get these ones, but this is a cool little thing just to check out. A little.
Oh, so oh my goodness. So these are bootlegs of the, what do they call them? I think they're called the Bounty Collection. They're these tiny little sort of 2-inch static posed little baby Yodas in different poses.
Yeah, though I've it was so weird because there was a bag and like so this is everyone just listening to the podcast. It's a like a sealed sort of bag with a Star Wars header with one side Star Wars Rebels and the other side is Rey versus Kylo Ren
Mm-hmm.
in some great hybrid branding. And then inside you've got about 5 different baby Yodas
Mm-hmm.
about 2 inches high. And that was the weird thing that she pulled them out of this box that had, there was like Toy Story and Marvel,
Right.
and, Power Rangers. She pulled them out and showed me, and I was sort of like, oh, disappointed because I was like, I've already got these.
Yeah,
Like,
you've got the real version of them.
yeah, Harry loves them. They go to Bluey's house all the time.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, anybody would probably um recognize these if they saw pictures of them, except these are very bright green, like the real version, look more, screen accurate to Grogu. And he's just in different poses. So there's one of him like, eating the frog or holding the frog egg or reaching out and using the force. They do several different ones.
Yeah, there's one in the crib.
Mm-hmm.
But having the I think that is Hasbro make them, I think, don't they?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Um, having the proper Hasbro ones and then looking at these bright green Grogu and how they're painted, it's like they look so bad. Like, I don't know, there's just something there's like this. It's weird because if the if the packaging's cool, then the bad paint sort of works.
Right.
But this packaging's sort of not like very I can't even like ironically like it.
Yeah, and it's
And
hard to display something that's just in like a plastic bag with a cardboard piece stapled up at the top to keep it closed. Like that's, you know.
yeah, and sometimes the art that it's packaged in sort of creates the ironic vibe.
Hmm.
Like your star winners.
Right.
Like, but yeah, so for these I was just sort of like, oh, these are just crappy bootlegs.
Yeah. And for some reason they've painted his eyes to be bloodshot. Like
Hey,
the
it's big night in Mexico.
big night in Mexico, I guess.
Now, this one, like, it's this is a tough one to show you because it's one of the ones where I'm like, should have I gotten that?
Uh-oh. Let me see it, buddy.
Oh, I like it. I'm filled with dread
I can't wait to see it.
that you're just gonna like just diss me so hard, and now I'm gonna have to go back.
Let's
All
see
right,
it, buddy.
I
Pull the
present. I
rip off the
present.
band-aid.
I present to you, Pink Baby Yoda.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that. Oh, mm-mm, mm-mm. It looks like an Easter nightmare. Oh, mm-mm.
Ah,
Like so it's a pink baby Yoda. The inside of his ears are purple. His little robe or outfit that he's wearing is like a lilac purple.
lilac, beautiful.
And then like, you know, the fuzzy collar and like wrist pieces that he has are so dirty, buddy. I couldn't. Nah, man. I agree. Don't get that. It's awful. Like, and it's stunning as a bootleg. I couldn't have gotten that. Oof, oof.
Well,
Mm-mm.
that was the thing. It sort of was like I was so psyched that it was in the wrong color
Mm-hmm.
because the color kind of made me feel queasy.
Yeah,
Like,
it's causing something visceral in me that I'm not a fan of. It almost he's like maybe one shade brighter pink than like flesh color, and that kind of weirds me out.
all right, you made me feel so much better.
Yeah, buddy, I fully endorse not getting that. I think that item is cursed. Like I think you bring that into your house and paranormal shit starts happening.
All right, I feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just something I was like,
Something about it, man.
this should be something I desperately want, but it's making me feel weird.
Yeah.
All right, God, I feel good. That's I'm so happy with that outcome. All right, what else we got? All right, then Hawes,
Yes, sir.
I hit upon some quite interesting statues.
Oh, love a good statue.
And I was not expecting to see anything of this era or this size, but I did come across. I'll pop it up now. Like a 30 inch. No, it wouldn't be 30 inch. It would be like a 22 inch like ceramic or porcelain stormtrooper,
Mm-hmm.
and then fascinatingly, a Darth Maul.
A Darth Maul. So you know what scale these kind of remind me of were those Jax Pacifics figures that came out, right?
You nailed it, Hawes. That's what
Similar in scale.
That's what they've got them from.
Oh, you think you're probably right. I've
No,
got one. I've got a, because of course I do. It's got a Boba Fett
this is.
right here. Of course I do.
But as I went on in and to see what other characters I would see there, like as I was leaving Mexico, it clicked. I'm like, oh, it's the like that's why there's those characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was sort of just um, like there's a Captain Phasma one, and I'm like, what a weird
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
one to like to do a mold of and stuff, and then it hit me. I was like, Jax.
They took those Jax figures and made a made a quick mold from them.
Now I was very tempted on the Stormtrooper because it was painted so
Garishly.
yes badly and brightly.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was feeling. Now, I may have been a bit desperate here. I didn't get it because I figured I was just trying to see things that weren't there. But I thought this was like
Ooh.
a Darth Maul Mexican wrestling mask.
Like a luchador mask.
Yeah.
I can see why you would think that, buddy.
But then I was also like, and I had this with something else where how am I going to display that? Like, I'm not.
You would well, yeah, and like you would have to like, how are you gonna are you gonna get a mannequin head to put that thing on? And like, is it really supposed to be Darth Maul? I can see why you think it would be.
Yeah, but that was the end thing of like really. And there's the LA Lakers in the background. Luchador, famous luchador, LA
Mm-hmm.
Laker.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so what I got in that second day, right? These are the things that I got. So I was like, why don't I have photos of them? And I'm like, because I've got them. I got this, which Harry very much loved.
Paw Patrol bootleg.
This is Marshall.
Ah, because he's a fire marshal.
Yes, and he's a money box.
Oh, perfect.
And he's a real sweetie. And then with him,
Bro, what's wrong with his eyes?
it's a about a foot high Grogu.
Very grumpy looking Grogu.
Well, he's got a hole. He's got a slit in the back of his head.
Oh, he's
Hey,
a money box too.
hey, I'll tell you a thing about these money boxes as well. No hole in the bottom.
So it's literally, if you put money in there and you want to get it out, it's hammer time.
Yeah, that is
Oh my
like
God.
break in case of emergency.
Oh
Because
my goodness.
Harry wanted to put some money in the bottom in Marshall. And I just said, no, you can't get it out. And Jackie's like, oh, she can put money in. I'm like, to what end? Like, why? Like, do you know what I mean? It's sort of like,
Yeah.
like Marshall's time's ticking after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Then that is just leading to inevitable heartbreak when Harry's like, I want to get that money out of there. And you're like, well, you got a choice to make, my little dude.
Yeah, he's 14. He wants to ride a hoverboard somewhere. And
Yeah.
he's like, oh, I've been putting money in there for years. But peep that.
It is
For some reason,
stunning.
they do his head with this weird
Texture,
looks
like all
you
these
could,
bumps.
Looks like you could grate garlic on it or something.
Yeah.
But if Corey's watching this now, he'd be terrified.
He's nightmare. He's about to have a nightmare.
Dong, dong, dong.
Now see that Grogu, I approve of that purchase. The pink Grogu, I think you made the right choice.
He's very cute. He's very sad,
Mm-hmm.
but he is adorable, and he's got the little pink highlights in his ears and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
They did a little weathering on his robe.
yeah, they did a good job.
Yeah.
Now, then I came across a banger.
Oh.
This is like, it's just such a uniquely like like Mexican Star Wars bootleg,
Uh-oh.
right?
I can't wait to see this.
Now, it came with 4 figures,
Uh-oh.
some luchadors.
Okay.
I think one of these is Blue Demon. Someone at a restaurant told me.
Okay.
But these are all apparently famous Mexican luchadors, and they are about to battle in my handmade Grogu luchador ring, put together with wood and sticky tape and a picture of Grogu. Some rubber bands around the side for ropes.
I am so jealous. That is
Wait,
incredible.
hold. Wait, before you gush. I should point out that the Grogu image is pixelated.
Yeah, it is like a 480p resolution.
Yeah, just when you get close enough to it, you realize I only just realized it was pixelated.
And it's not even like an official still of Grogu.
Yeah, it's like a frame grab.
Mm-hmm.
So, look at that.
That is stunning. That is amazing.
I was just, I drove home that night very content.
I bet, buddy. I bet.
So, that was so sweet. And so that's like what I got.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the first, I was there 2 nights, and the last day was going to mostly be spent
Driving home. Yeah.
because you got to drive from like Rosarita an hour to the border. The border can take like hours.
Mm-hmm.
It really can.
No.
And then I had another 2.5 hours to get to our house through California. So I was gagging to see the street in Tijuana, which is, I can't remember what it's called now, but there's like a famous street where all the market things are.
Right.
But it was sort of like, we just had like, I desperately want to see it, but I just can't. I don't want to park the car, and like it's just a bit like, do you know what I mean? I just don't know the lay of the land and stuff. So I'd rather like you can park in San Diego and just walk over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like taking a car is like, I don't know, it just sits there by itself.
Yeah.
But I was told that if you go when you wait in line to get through the border control, that there'll be vendors trying to sell you stuff.
And you can just tell them what you want.
Tell them whatever you want, right? So, yeah. So we're on this like sort of freeway exit,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just becomes a line. And then like miles up is the actual border
Place
crossing
where you
station.
cross. Yeah.
But it's like, it's just such a stoppage that this freeway just for miles just becomes a queue, right?
Mm.
And so they've taken to you've got people sitting in their cars, like they're
Bored.
Yes, and so they do. Just vendors just come down, and the road sort of loops. It sort of loops around onto this bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked out they had a circuit where they'd come down the bridge, like the side of the bridge, go to the start of the queue, walk all the way up till they get to that spot in the bridge, and then go back down again, down the stairs to start on that loop,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And like, so Cheerios, like, Coke, little puppies.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Well,
Oh.
I don't know how to feel about that, because I guess they're getting bred to be sold, but I don't know. It's one of those things where, well, if someone's buying them, then
Hopefully they're giving them a good home. But
yeah.
Oh.
So, but it was weird. It was sort of
Yeah.
like, and they're walking with like the cutest little puppy pups.
Oh man, that would make me sad.
It was pretty interesting. This is you got hats, bootleg teddy bears.
Nice.
Oh, and that's so like, this is when we were crossing the bridge and we could see where we once were.
Oh, okay.
And that was like an hour and a half later.
Oh, that's rough.
So, and occasionally people would walk past and they'd have like a baby Yoda, like, but that's the only thing I saw. They had like big Sonics and stuff, but I didn't see much Star Wars. So I was like, I'm pretty content, right?
You found some treasures already.
Yeah. But then, as the freeway continued, it just turns into a market. Like, there's market stalls on the freeway.
Oh.
So if you look at that photo, so we're a few lanes over, and one side of the freeway just becomes all stalls. It is the oddest thing I've ever seen. Like, I believed in the sanctity of the freeway.
Right.
So I'm like, said to Jackie, like I could see there was some Star Wars things, and I said, like, and we're not moving.
Yeah,
Like,
so you're getting out.
Yeah, so I said, oh, I'm just going to pull over onto the far lane. Oh, no. First I said, I'm going to pull over just so I can drive and see all the stuff. But then once I pulled over a couple of lanes and I could see the stuff, I was like, oh, I've got to get out of the car. So this is me.
Looking very stoked.
We're in the line for like 2 hours, and then all of a sudden it's like opened up into this wonderland. Now, Hawes.
Yes, sir.
Even you would want to dive out of the car
Oh, yeah, I would have been out real quick.
to bear witness to this.
Oh, my goodness.
How could you stay in the car?
I couldn't.
Describe to the podcast listener what you were viewing.
I am looking at a stall that is just overflowing into the street with treasures. I see skulls, I see Virgin Mary statues and other religious iconography.
Dude, if you are trying to fit out a church,
this is where you go.
And you want, I don't know if you got to license it to God, but if you want some bootleg God, they had some like Marys and Joseph's, not Marys and Joseph's, Marys and Jesus's that were like 5 foot. It was insane.
I see Among Us characters from that video game. There's just treasure upon treasure, row upon row. Honestly, I would want to get out and look, but I don't know that I could have gotten through there to look without breaking something.
Now, Hawes, as you know, I was on Twitter pleading for information. How do I find? I was so worried I would not find a porcelain baby Yoda. And look at what I'm
oh my! There they are. Those are the exact ones that you saw at Franken's. Look at that giant Joker bust. Do you see that?
A dude would walk past the car with that. It would look like it looked like it just decapitated the Joker.
I see a giant Spider-Man and a giant Superman.
What about down the bottom? There's giant yellow Sonic.
You would not have been able to stop me from getting the giant yellow Sonic. That's Sonichu, the electric hedgehog. Oh, there's Pennywise from It. There's just dogs. There's Chucky's from Child's Play. LA Dodgers baseball players.
So you can see here the Captain Phasma.
That is exactly molded off of the Jakks Pacific one. And so is the Vader and the Chewbacca behind him or her.
And then there's some First Order Stormtroopers.
Batman. It is just bootleg heaven. Man, okay. I would never buy that Joker bust, but that Joker bust is surprisingly high quality.
It's like, pretty terrifying, man.
Yeah, the paint job and stuff on it is pretty high quality.
Now, I think I've cut it out in my haste to take the photos, But see next to Darth Vader
Uh-huh.
on his shoulder, they've done a black chrysanthemum.
Are you kidding me?
I don't kid.
I would have. That would have been going home with me too. I can see his arm next to Vader.
I just want to see if it's in one of these ones. I thought I got a photo of it.
You know what? I haven't seen one. I have not seen one Mandalorian or one Boba Fett. Interestingly enough.
I saw a Mandalorian, like a big-headed sort of character like these Avengers down the front. But I didn't sort of tickle my fancy. I wish I got a photo of that black chrysanthemum. And there was I think I don't have a photo of it because in that stall was like stuff I bought. So I think that's the stall that had the best stuff.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to be there.
Whoa, it's a big 13, 14-inch Luke Skywalker, farm boy Luke, as he would be known in the action figure community.
Standing very prestigiously. Coin slot at the back. And not a chance.
Nope.
No chance in hell to get that out. But another thing that's plagued me is there was this one, or they'd painted him in a black top as well.
But it wasn't the right. It was just that painted black, so it wasn't really him and his Jedi.
And you could see his chest.
Right.
So I was sort of like, and I had a lot of time to think on the drive home, Hawes. And I was like, should have I got the black one? And it was so much going on. And
I think you made the right choice.
At the same time as I'm shopping, I had to keep an eye on where the car was as well, so I could make it back before we crossed. But what a beaut, huh?
Beautiful. That's a good purchase. I think you made the right choice getting a New Hope Luke instead of like hastily painted Return of the Jedi Luke.
So I got that. I was quite thrilled. And then the boobs sort of ended as it went more into the passport control, more official lines and stuff. And then there was one that you could go into, and I'm like I was way ahead of Jackie. So I was like, I'll just go have a look in and just see what's, like, and also there was no more boobs. So I was like, boredom is coming back.
Yep.
Right. And I came back to the car. With this.
That's way better than the one you saw at Frank and Sons. Oh my goodness.
It's life size, essentially.
It is. It's a life-size Grogu, sort of mimicking one of the poses from those Bounty Collection little Grogu figures. It's a
got a little
piggy bank again.
It's got a signature on the back.
Oh.
Pay. They made this, apparently. But it is just painted so like nicely, and
it's perfect. Oh my goodness, that is a good one.
And thus concludes my trip to Mexico.
Buddy, you came back with treasures. Good job. Good job, man. Those are great.
So, yeah, I'm terrified of
knocking one over.
Yeah, because I just chip so easy.
Yeah.
I had to like really establish with Harry. It's like this. If this drops, it's not
over.
It's not. It might break. It will shatter.
Yeah.
It like so. Once you drop it, it's gone.
Right.
And I can't put it back together. And he's like, okay.
Gotcha.
But yeah. What a time. What an age, huh?
Wow.
Look, Grogu's as far as the eye can see, buddy.
It's like that scene in The Last Jedi when Rey is looking at herself in that mirror,
Yes!
except it's
Yes!
bootleg Grogu's.
How's how there's one taller at the end?
I think it's a different type too. Like you can tell from the eyes and the mouth that I think it's a different mold.
Yeah, because the ones in the front seem... Oh, no, they're not. See, that's a different one to mine again.
Yeah.
Like the way that's...
Yep.
So there's a couple out there.
Yeah, there's different molds out there for sure, but they all do the weird cheese grater or meat tenderizer texture on the top of his head.
But
that one is the one.
That's
the one.
Like, this is insane, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Like, that might have actually been, like, sculpted. I think it was. It's got a signature.
Yeah. Pay me. Show me the money.
Yeah, man.
The money goes in there, in the top slot, and then...
Never comes out.
Never comes out. Oh. All right, Hawes. What a good time that was.
What a good time. Thank you for sharing your treasures with me, buddy. Those are awesome.
Nice. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the video or the pod, like and subscribe and write a comment. Write like a dream, crazy item that you'd like to find.
Yeah.
In the comments, or do the Grogu's, do they delight you, or are you terrified? You got a case of the Corys.
The case of the Corys.
I've come down with a case of the Corys. What else is happening? You can get t-shirts in our Below the Collar site store, linked below. Hawes Burkhardt is the host of one of my favorite podcasts, Blue Harvest. Hawes, tell us a little about it.
Blue Harvest is a weekly Star Wars podcast I do with my buddy Will. We put out episodes every Friday morning or thereabouts, and it's a little goofy, a little dumb, but we have fun with it.
It's the best. Love it. And if you like me and Hawes talking, then check out our Patreon show, Star Wars Year by Podcast, which is available on either of our Patreons for $3. And we've done 29 episodes, Hawes?
Yep.
29 episodes where we go through Star Wars history through the Star Wars Year by Year book. And it's awesome fun. Star Wars tangents, memories, Dash Rendar references, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening or watching, participating, experiencing. And may that force be with you.